Good evening. Um, Nice to have you. Just because it's funny. Nice to have you here with us today. Thank you much for giving us your time to see me. So we're live now, and uh, can you hear me? Where is this? Toby, can you hear me? I don't know. Why can't I hear you? Hmm. Hi, Mr. Toby. Can you hear me? How's can you hear me? Why am I not hearing anyone? Ah, Guys, please, if you can hear me, just take it up from here, please. I don't know why I can't hear anyone.
I can hear you, Mom. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. So Toby, please, can you hear me? Please, maybe it's network. Maybe you can leave and join again. But we're live too. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are Today's topic is on data analysis, and we have Mr. Toby here to walk us through data analysis in Web3. But Mr. Toby, I need to confirm that you can hear me right now. As if you are able to hear me. Okay, that's interesting. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear me now.
Yeah, perfect. I can hear you now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, we're currently live on X, so live on X and YouTube. So you can go ahead and take the floor.
Okay, no problem. Hi everyone, nice meeting you again. Like I heard about like the World Cup training that has been ongoing in the Web3 space, like okay, blockchain analysis and several other like aspect of it. So like actually went through the course outline that was actually sent for this training, and I saw a whole lot of value. And this is something that I'm certain like nobody can actually pass through. Sha. And one thing with trainings is that some people like maybe when you want to start out, there are lots of people in like in the cohort or something like that. But as time goes on, different people, different things like happen. But there's nobody that actually goes through this training that is not going to be a person of value. Right, so that is something like I want to say. I want to first start by congratulations. Those people that made it till the end, I want to say a big, big, big congratulations to them. And those people that are still joining us on the space and you have interest in the Web3 analysis space, right? Like in the blockchain data analysis space, which we also call on-chain analysis, right? So those people that are interested, this is something that is actually right for you. Why? Because of there has been a traction, right? I'm sure I've heard about this over Web3 is here, Web3 is here, so several things. Who knows? Before this year ends, we start to enter Web4, Web5, right? So now that we're feeling like Web3 is new, very soon Web3 is going to be very old now. Okay, so and we are yet to onboard many people into this space. So that's why training is very important. Training is very vital. You cannot have enough of trainings. Like I even look like some tech CEOs, some managers, these people are making millions, yet they're still going for mentorship, they're still going for more training. Like normally, most people when they attain a level of finances, like a bit like that, there's a kind of comfort they just enter into, not knowing that now that you have those resources, it's going to help you to have more access to people that have knowledge. Okay, we are where we are by the knowledge we have or by the knowledge we don't have, right? So coming for training, going through listening to, joining the space, watching live on YouTube, wherever you are, the fact that you're where knowledge is means you're on the right world track. Okay, so that's where I want to actually start from, because of if you to speak about data analysis space, I can speak long. Just like yesterday we had a webinar which I was trying to speak about several things on beyond the charts. Okay, so that what like I was speaking about, because of now if you check, I hear data analyst you send 30 charts, some will send 50, though different things are happening. So yes, when you're learning, you'll be building multiple charts. You might not really know the meaning of all of them. What you're just trying to sharpen is your skill set in trying to learn about the interface. Okay, so like there are several tools we actually use for this, but most people use Donalux, Analytics, and several other platforms for their Web3 analysis. Okay, but now this is what I'm trying to say now. Beyond the chart is that now you have done design, you have done color, you have done like you follow the steps of trying to establish a good dashboard. But beyond the numbers, what is the narrative behind it? What is the story behind it? You have come from training, you sacrifice your data, gadgets. There are times you're supposed to be doing other things, you spend it learning. Okay, so beyond that, now what is now the result? Okay, I always use this an example, like if you go to a furniture factory where they produce chairs, the end product is that the proof you went through is that you come out with a chair. But now, like in the analytics space, the proof you came out from this cohort is not just about trying to come out with a certificate or with a portfolio. Actually, it's now like beyond that. Now, how have you been able to retrain your mind? Okay, most times I so like, because of I have the academy also, which I actually love. Like I to love teaching and helping people come on board. That's one thing. That's why there's no day, there's no week you don't catch me speaking or talking to someone or several other things like that. Why? Because of it's very hard for one light to light a whole nation. But when everybody's carrying their light, it's going to be much more easier. Sometimes, like when you're growing up or when you're in some families or something, some people want to feel like they want to be the one carrying everything. But when everybody have their own source of revenue, source of income, nobody will be stressing anybody, right? So that's the same thing. Once one person to another, one person to another, the more we shine the light, the stronger we are, right? And right now, I do speaking and I'm also still learning other things too. Okay, so and there are just three things that I want to actually speak about before I actually go down into what I want to speak about. Because of one of the main things that I want us to develop is having an eye of a problem solver. But before then, after training, what's next? Is that the end? You have finished Web3, you have finished analysis and several other things like that. So there are key expectations. What you have just done, you have been investing, you have been planting your time, your energy, your resources now. So you're coming to the season, let me not say harvest, because of many people have not really understood what they have learned. What happened is that Value Corp has just opened the door for you, but you're the one that will have to go and learn how to use the things inside. Just like if you come to a company, okay, yes, they hired you, they have opened the door for you, but there are still some things you will still need to learn. It's just like a let me not use the word relearning, right? But it's still something like that. So there's a way you have to still upskill yourself. There are some things I did not learn. I was teaching some people some things like that, and like I understood it when I taught it the third time, right? So there are some projects I like worked on, and at first, like the client actually paid for me working on that project, but I didn't really understand everything. What I did was that I just done understood some key components of it. So that's this what I'm trying to say now. There are some things now that you're still going to go through. There are some materials you're still going to go through. The more you're going through them, your mind is going to be re-assimilating them. Okay, why? Because of now you're in a different phase. Back then you were learning as a beginner, but now you're learning as an intermediate now. They're not going to be speaking about the basics, sha. You might still go through some basics, right? But
But
now,
now,
when
when
you
you
are
are
like
like
still
still
coming
coming
out
out
now, it's
now,
not
it's not
like you
like you
close your
close your
laptop and
laptop
say,
and say,
I'm
I'm
done,
done,
I want
to
to
rest.
rest.
Work
Work
is
is
just
just
starting.
starting.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
that's
that's
why we
why we
have
have
those
those
three
three
stages:
stages:
the
the
beginner,
beginner,
the
the
intermediate.
intermediate.
Like
Like
they
they
thought,
thought,
I
I
want to
want
use
to
the
use the
word
word
expert,
expert,
but
but
I'm
I'm
scared
scared
of
of
that
that
word.
word.
Before
Before
some
some
people
people
can
can
sit
sit
down
down
and
and
raise
raise
shoulder
shoulder
that
that
they're
they're
expert,
expert.
every
Every
day they
day
are
they are
releasing
releasing
new
new
software.
software.
Every
Every
day
day
new
new
problems
problems
are
are
happening.
happening.
Every
Every
day
day
there
there
are
are
lots
lots
and
and
lots
lots
of
of
opportunities.
opportunities.
Okay,
Okay,
but
but
let
let
me
me
just
just
say
say
you
you
enter
enter
a
a
stage
stage
whereby
whereby
you're
you're
having
having
much
much
more
more
confidence
confidence
in
in
yourself.
yourself.
So
So
I
I
would
would
just
just
say
say
it
it
as
as
the
the
beginner
beginner
stage
stage
now,
now,
when
when
you're
you're
still
still
learning,
learning,
making
making
some
some
mistakes,
mistakes.
your
Your
charts
charts
are
are
not
not
really
really
like
like
you're
you're
still
still
trying
trying
to
to
understand
understand
some
some
key
key
terms
terms
and
and
terminologies
terminologies
and
and
several
several
other
other
things
things
like
like
that.
that.
But as time begins to go, you now enter the intermediate stage. That's okay, you're confident in some tools, you have done some work for some clients, you have been able to drop some proposals and several other things like that. You're having more traction like that. Okay, so then the managerial stage, like I actually feel that word is more better. So now you're now able to manage other data analysts in your field. You're now like able to be able to spot opportunities and you onboard people. Now you're no more the one directly working on the project, right? Your team members, your workers, your those people in your academia now are the ones now working on those projects. So you're more like supervising them. Okay, so those are the three stages. I'm going to actually say it. That word expert in Web3. You can be a founder and you're still learning. Right, being a founder is still like okay. Founder this project, you'll notice that there are still going to be much more upgrades. There are people that are doing several other things like that. So I think the word managerial is going to be very very better. But sure, you can choose to differ. So why I'm speaking this way is because of I heard about okay, people are graduating from the value corp data analysis training and the rest. They are having classes throughout this week. I want to appreciate them for their consistency, and that's why I'm going into using this direction. So for those people that are joining us to actually just join the space and hear more, also it's still the same thing. You might not have joined with the academy, but you have been going for courses, you have been watching videos on YouTube, you have been joining other X spaces also. This is the same for you. Okay, so that's how. So whenever you learn something, that's not the end. There, me right now, I've been able to train people. Some people have trained, have been able to get jobs. Some of them have been able to get freelance roles. Some of them haven't sold their laptop. So that's it. It's not everybody that we actually, but like I can just say that like that's just it now. There's a parable that you actually hear in scriptures that a sower went to sow. He sowed this the seed is good, but different hearts. One was loamy soil, one was rock, one was sandy soil. So that's the same thing. Right now, we are sowing seeds of knowledge. Some people are going to be able to get it faster. Some people will not get it till November. Some people will get it next year. It's not a curse. It's just a reality of light, right? We all have our times and like seasons, okay? But there's a way that when you're in the right atmosphere, when you're following the right principle, when you're being consistent, when you're being determined, when you're still going over things you have been taught, when you're going to learn new things, once you're there's a way consistency wearies resistance. Okay, there's a way what consistency says what wearies resistance. There's something still pushing those job right now. There's nobody like I know people that have 5 6 jobs and they're still applying for gigs. There's no way you like you will say that okay, once you're done training, let the trainer come and give me a job. You should be sending okay, there are some people that have those kind of group or structures that okay, once you're done in the first week, they'll be sending you some links or something like that. But right now, you should be able to not just be sending out links like that, but now you have been able to build yourself and show proof of work because of my goal. Each time I'm training people, each time I'm speaking, my goal is not that you 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 just have a head knowledge
Um, Mr. Sobi, can you hear me? You see me? I think Mr. Toby is having network issues, so please kindly be patient while he joins back. Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear me now. I tried to leave the call and join back. Let me know if you can hear me now.
I can hear you.
Sorry?
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. Okay, so this is what before the breaking transmission, like I was speaking something about beyond the data, right? I was saying that what a data analyst does is that what he's more of a advisor in the sense that what he uses information, which we also call data, to be able to what make decisions, right? So if you notice, when you're being called to actually work with a brand, when you're being called to actually work with a project, right? The first thing is that you're going to be working with the decision makers, right? So like now, this is what I'm trying to say now. If my work is to be able to what aid decision making, that means that I will be working with what decision makers. In that sense of things, that means I must know what matters to them and what does not matter to them. I recalled a question and I was asked, somebody asked me, okay, sir, how do I know the right objective to actually work on? How do I know the right data to actually work on? How do I know the right indicator to actually look for? Okay, and this is this now. The first thing is that you want to understand the kind of business I mean, but you want to know what matters to them. Is it their sales? Is it their users? Is it the retention? There are several um performance indicators that can be used for that, right? So now, so like we have some ways in which as a on-chain analyst now, you can be able to actually add value to various projects and to various ecosystems, and beyond that to various businesses, brands, and individuals. In the sense that now you have been able to have a walk through some software tools that is going to be able to what aid you more. So analyzing Web3 data is okay. Let me still break this down a bit for some people that might be having some misconceptions now. So somebody will ask me also, okay, sir, what is the difference between a marketing analyst, a on-chain analyst, a business analyst, a this one analyst, a that one, a medical analyst? Say, how will they choose their path? Now they are done with training. Which one should they be able to concentrate themselves? So lots and lots of things like that. So this is just the key to everything. Based on the company you're working for, based on the type of data you have, let me even use the word information. My goal is not to use big grammar. I want everybody to be able to follow through. Like even those people that are not even in the analysis space now, these are something that is vital. It might not be for you. Like you might just find yourself in a location and somebody's asking, I've been hearing about data analysis stuff and stuff like that. Can you help me like become a designer or in other field? But you having this knowledge now, you might be able to shine the light and guide somebody else on this path. So this is what I'm trying to say now. If I'm working with medical records, I'm looking to see which patients comes to the hospital the most and the reason. So that means that what I am looking at medical records, which you call like medical data. So you can now say me looking at is like me trying to analyze medical data. So I can I call myself a medical data analyst. Me trying to check, okay, which marketing channel performs the best, which of our campaign has done the highest. I am trying to look at what informations of what marketing. You can now call me what a marketing analyst. Now to channel it down to what we are speaking about, I'm going through the blockchain, I'm checking Etherscan, checking various blockchain explorers, trying to find which token or which product has the highest revenue in the last 2 weeks. What am I doing now? I'm analyzing data on chain. You can now call me what? A on-chain analyst. Okay, so it's nothing really complicated. If you're trying to find a path after training, which field should I go to, which one should I focus on, it's still the same thing. Now this what like what I'm trying to say, because some of us we get some roles in the Web3 space. Some of us are going to get the roles in like in other spaces. The goal is not where or is like the goal is that what you're well equipped to be able to solve a company's, a brand, a individual's problem, right? So that's the same thing. So now you now am analyzing data on chain. You want to now know what are the key metrics that projects are actually looking at. What am are the key problems that what the community, customers, or the users are like always what having issues with? Those things are something that is very what vital and important. So it's one thing for you to actually send your resume. It's one thing to first send your portfolio. But when you're like in the interview, most of the interviews you're even going to get in the data analysis space is just like this. It's on call. Like you're speaking to people from various countries, from any location you are right now. And what you are going to be asking is beyond your dashboard, I have experience in this, I've done management, I've done this, I've done that, I know how to use 200 tools. A kind of a conversation like this is what is going to just either make or mar you in the sense that what they want to like actually know if you have been able to develop that critical thinking ability. Okay, and that is what I want to speak about next. Now you cannot actually work on what you don't really understand. That's why we have to develop the eye of a problem solver. There's one thing that makes the key to being a data analyst is not that you know 500 tools. The key to being like a data analyst is that your inquisitive mind. When you see something, you want to ask question, why is this thing here? Why is it not here? What is happening if I'm going to add this to this? Why? Because of most times you're going to be working with decision makers, and decision makers will be asking question. If we put 100 sorry, like 100 million in this thing, what is going to be our result? If we don't, what is going to be our result? If we put 50, what is going to be our result? If we have like 1,000 users in a day, how is that going to help us grow better? If we are having a churn rate of 50%, so what you're just doing is that you're answering questions. Okay, so when you have that inquisitive mind, the more you see questions, the more your brain is trying to process it and think. But if you don't have inquisitive mind, the more you see questions, the more your brain starts to retract and they are stressing me. This thing is not for me. The workload is why? Because of you have not even been able to come and to train your brain. This is not like I don't know the kind way to use brain now, so that like it not look like insultive. So it's just to train your mind to be able to what comprehend information more, just like a detective, right? So
As I begin to round up now, I want to speak about various opportunity for a on-chain analyst in the space. And the second thing I want to share my experience or how I was able to work for a project as their analyst and some of the key tasks I actually perform. And the last thing that I want to now do is that, okay, like I want to just speak about like I think let me just leave that because it's going to open a new chapter. So those are the two things like I want to actually speak about. So what are the various opportunities for me after my long training, after several things I'm doing in the Web3 space? The first we all know is trying to work in the DeFi space, which is what I'm going to speak about more. DeFi, I mean decentralized what finance, okay? That's like various structures and infrastructures on the what on various decentralized what platform. I'm sure we have gone over centralized and decentralized, right? Things that are built, various investment platforms, all chain, various wallets, several like infrastructure we have on chain. So there are some projects, some businesses that are looking for people that can help them to be able to collect that data, not just to store like data because of most of them already have their database, but now to be able to explain, to share insights in that region based on what they want to actually do. Also, let me speak about supply chain optimization. And also now, when you hear a supply chain, back then, like English used to confuse some people. Supply chain is just okay. The movement. Let me break it down. Movement of several things from one place to another. So, like on your way home from maybe from work, there's a long cut and there's a shortcut. The word optimization is just like you trying to pass through a route that is going to make you use less energy, maybe less finances, something like that. So that's why they call it supply chain what optimization. There's still something. So some of these things I'm saying, you can just still go and make more research on it. So there's another aspect on like fraud detection and what identification. The Web3 space is growing lots of opportunities, but if you know, wherever there are good eggs, bad eggs shall find themselves inside. Sometimes, once some people hear about crypto Web3, the first thing that comes to their head is scam. They don't come again. Double money, double this. Several, not knowing that it's not actually the foundation or the infrastructure built, is what is the main goal of those people. So there are lots of people building several things. Yes, there are scammers in the space. That's why many projects we need analysts that can be able to spot trend. I noticed that this wallet always does this and this happens. I noticed that some people like always find um ways to actually take somebody's identity and several other things like that. So you can be able to find yourself in that space. There are lots of things, but I want to just speak about this for the last one is like in regulatory compliances. Now, if you notice, there's no where you go in the world that there are no rules or regulations. Like even in the jungle where there is no police officer, there are rules. There's some like no matter how strong the lion is, there are some places it does not enter. And no matter how fast the cheater is, there why? Because there are laws, unwritten laws and rules. Okay, so in the like in the Web3 space, they will need somebody to be able to go through the white paper, go through several things. Now, before they even start to release like several breakdown, revenue share, several other things like that, it passes through people that is going to like know, okay, what can we actually do? So those are still part of regulatory compliances. And how to even put slash tokenomics also too in there now. How do we share the revenue to our users? How do we help the other projects and several other things like that? So there are lots of opportunities in the space. Like now, let me share a story of what I like an example now. So I think what last 2 years, oh boy, I don't take for this space. So but every day is looking like it's still fresh. Like I see, just like last week, am I still went to actually watch a tutorial on Microsoft Excel on trying to, that's just to even show you that in this space there's no like you're not too big than anything like that. So like it does not really look that far like that. Sha. Why? Because of when you're in a field that you're learning, you're growing, something you actually love doing beyond the other benefits that might happen, that's when you're going to be able to grow well and burn out all this kind of yes, you might reach that stage when you're working
at some perspective. But when once you know the balance, you'll be able to go through that. Okay, so I worked for this project like last year. So what they just so sorry last year. So what they wanted me to do is this now. They're trying to optimize their platforms. They are like and actually run some investments, trades, and other things like that. So what they wanted me to do is that they noticed there's some wallets on the blockchain that anytime this wallet buys some particular thing or anytime this wallet actually takes some direction, this is what happened. Okay, so we now had like more than like 5,000 wallet addresses. My goal there was to be able to now streamline. Okay, let's look for those people that have higher win rates. Let me use that word like that, or those people that have like higher that cause higher effect to the market. So now I was able to now go on like Etherscan now to be able to now scan through those wallets, check their trades. And as we know, everything in the blockchain is open. That's why they call it what like open source. So like just like now, nobody might really know how much is in your bank account, right? But now the Web3 space is the opposite now. Like everybody knows if they're able to get some vital information that can run that. So what I'm speaking about, like it's not something fraudulent or anything like that. It's open information. It's whatever your eyes can see. Okay. So what they wanted to actually do is what we like just call or trying to follow those people that like, actually know the road, right? So what I had to do was to go on the blockchain. I took the data, saved it as a CSV file, as well. Like I use Power BI, and I even use Microsoft like Excel at a point that was able to now like match the wallet addresses to some tokens. Then we like now like run the analysis of okay in the last 14 days, in the last 20 days, streamline like all this kind of stuff. Then we now try to now automate them now. They will now build a AI like and we now like automated the trades, just trying to okay do this, do that, and several other things like that. So like that actually like opened my eye to more possibilities on the blockchain and several things like that. So the next one now is a project, but this one now is more of like in the marketing part of things now like this various marketing channels, customer metrics, user metrics, everything like that. So there are lots and lots of opportunities, but I know it might be challenging trying to get that first role. Sometimes you might have to work for some project as a volunteer, which I'm going to recommend because of you will not really lose in the sense that what you're building network, you're learning more, and if they haven't paying you $30 to even do the work, you might feel it's just data money. But as time is going on, a project will still come and pay you, still doing that same work times five of that, right? I'm actually like recall one of my students like last year, right? Yeah, so like he just came to our classes, just in the first two classes and the rest like that. He actually like did a job for a client. The same thing everybody is doing in class. They'll close their laptop, go home, come back. Like the same thing that somebody paid him times five for. That same like I even like looked at the work. I could spot like six or seven things that can be able to be taught like that. But the person that was doing like on project just wanted it exactly like that. Okay. So there's nothing like the perfect dashboard, the perfect analysis or something like that. Why? Because of what you're going to see at a particular angle is going to be different from what somebody else is going to see at a particular angle. That's why we always say build in public. While you're working on some materials, be pushing your work out there. Right now, there's nothing like I'm moving in silence. Yes, there's some things. There's nothing you want to keep silence. Like yeah, you have some private like details and the rest. But once you're building, you build in the light, right? So why will a light be hiding in the dark? Okay, now that you have a skill set, you have light now. Shine your light. Send out those proposals. Send out those mails. Send out those recommendations. Offer yourself to volunteer that this project don't pay me, just let me just be in your team, let me just be able to offer value, several other things like that. And as time begins to go on, we are going to be able to grow ourselves. So there are lots of things I want to speak about, but I'm sure you're still going to have more like webinars and more sessions like this that is going to be happening. So my final words is this: shine your light. Okay, what you have learned is what somebody has been praying God send us a analyst that is going to be able to give us some insights,
to help. You're just there staying, like not trying to post, staying. I need 10 years of experience. Like I need to learn how to use 100 tools. I need to have 10,000 followers or something. Not knowing that the right person is just waiting for you. So make it easier for your helper to find you. Put yourself what out there. You might feel like I've heard this several times, but the fact you're hearing it again today is something that is very, very vital and important. I hope with these few analytical words of mine, I've not confused you more, but I've been able to shine my own light now, right? Congrats on your journey for those people that are graduating. Congrats on your journey for those people that are graduating. Congrats to those people that are right here because of whenever things are actually happening, consciously or subconsciously, your mind also is being renewed. And once you're getting the right energy, you're going to have that right push. Okay. So this week, structure yourself. There's lots of platforms for Web3 roles and the rest. And lastly, this is what I would say. Don't go and be looking for a job that they must write on chain analyst. If they don't write on chain analyst, not knowing that in the Web3 space, there's different titles. Anybody can call themselves. If you know the kind of titles I've heard in the Web3 space, Father Lord, like assistant, this analyst, that manager, this one, let it be like they're the one that rejected you, not you rejecting yourself before the fight. If they don't see anybody that applies, they'll pick the person that is there now, right? And there's no work they want to give you that there's no Google, ChatGPT, or even other people on Upwork that can help you out. Like you can come online, there are lots of people out there. So stop running away from roles. They can put, we need a senior manager, leave that one. It's all English. Once you go there, you grow in, right? So that's the same thing I want to say. So once you read the job description and it's something you, if you're able to do two things from the job description, apply for it. If you reach the interview, say what you can say with confidence and leave it there. You have done your part, right? Let God now what? Do his part. So shout out to everybody. I want to say a big thank you to Value Cup and what they have been doing. I've been seeing very like it takes somebody of that has actually a good heart that wants to be able to carry people along, different webinars, different courses, several things like that, pushing our value. So I want to say shout out to you guys. You're doing a good work, and thank you.
Thank you so much,
Congratulations
Mr.
one more time,
Toby.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Toby. That was an insightful session. Maybe you can share with us, mention, your handle on X so that you can drop your DM, ask questions, so people get to follow you when they come back to listen to this again. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but maybe you can share it again here. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. That's going to be so on X. I'm at every move is bold. Long one, right? So, like as an analyst, you have to take bold moves. So, my X handle is at every move is bold. So, you can find me out there on X. So, like, if you want to actually like reach out to me on my WhatsApp now. Like I think, like just reach my X, you see some details there, or you can just send me a DM on X, then I will send more details about there. So, my name is Toby Tanmonire, and always glad to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like your energy this night. This is like a great way for us to end the week of lots of learning. Um, so on this note, so this is like our final for this series, this bootcamp series, and it was put on a very very solid energy. So if you want to watch a recap of this, we'll be also be updating our websites with direct links to this series that we just had. And also, make sure you do all your assignments for every other track we had in this bootcamp. Your certificates will also be waiting for you. So within the next 2 weeks, we'll be having a practical. So you receive it on your dashboard on the website. You will see what to do in order to apply all you've learned, and then just practical projects that you will do to show that you understood everything that you've learned so far. And then it counts towards your earning your certificates at the end of this. So thank you so much, everyone who has been participating so far. It's been a delight. It's been an amazing 10 weeks. God, 10 weeks have passed so much, have passed so fast. Started this last week of March and right here in the first week of June, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting. We still have a few more sessions that we couldn't cover this week, but officially the live sessions are like done. Um, Anyone that is remaining, we'll just handle them next week. But within that next week as well, just make sure you submit all your assignments. We'll have to go through them and go through your attendance as well. Attendance within the 4 weeks attendance, reason and check those. And remember, we're also working on getting some internship position for some of you that has been very, very consistent. So if you're listening to this, just follow make sure you're following us, turn on notification buttons on, and also like Mr. Toby said, you can always reach out to him and any of our other um, facilitators as well as handled any
Did you
topics
also
during this series.
em-
Thank you so much,
I don't
everybody.
know, let me just like add something. So like I think for my like a
Okay,
project
Mr.
and a
Toby.
brand I'm working for, so for the internship part, I think I can just offer like one person a kind of a internship actually. So let me just keep that with you and the rest. So I'm open for that, yeah, but just for one person actually for the
No
web
problem.
analytics brand. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Toby. Um, Okay, Council will be reaching out to you on that. We'll get one person who has been very consistent to actually take that. I think I have someone in mind that will take on this internship. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this because we want the opportunity for people to get hands-on experience. Thank you so much. Cassie, please help me follow up on Mr. Toby. I'm going to tell you who to recommend. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you guys heard it, and we're doing a lot, everything that is in our capacity to make sure that we bring you value always. Remember, it's always value first, and then money next. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Salah. Share some Salah meat with somebody close to you. And see you next week. Thank you so much, Mr. Toby, again. All right. Good night, everybody.